my name is Terry Clark, and I'm a health and fitness coach. And today I have with me Chiquita Carter, and we're going to be talking about health and fitness. Chiquita, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Chiquita Carter Walker. I'm a registered nurse. I'm also a fitness trainer. I work full time and approximately anywhere from 45 to 60 hours a week. I have always been an athlete when I was in middle school, high school, and then I went into the service for 6 years. And in the service, I was a master fitness trainer. I came out and continued with my athletic lifestyle. And at some point, life slowed down, got married, and had children. And after my last child, I had got to approximately a size 18, and I weighed 210 pounds.
You are a health and fitness coach, and you are a registered nurse. So
That's
you've
correct.
got a double portion. Now, how has being a registered nurse contributed to how you look at health and fitness?
That's a fabulous question. So, before I became a registered nurse, and again, like I said, I was a master fitness trainer in the U.S. Army. I never really thought of the aspects of the internal body, and it was more of performance. There was more of a performance thing, maybe of how your physique looked, but definitely performance. And so, now that being a registered nurse, I look at the internal body, and in all actuality, that's the most important thing. There is a saying that people will say, you are what you eat, which is absolutely correct. If you are eating to nurture the cells of your body and your organs in your body, then your body will perform the way that God had meant it to do so. It can also return things back. So, for instance, like I said, at my heaviest, I had got to a size 18, and then have gotten all the way down to a size 4'6". So, I was able to take what I put in my body, transform my health internally back to a healthy state, and take the weight off and be back at a more of a performance for me, who is 42 years old. So, when it comes to the knowledge that I've obtained as a registered nurse, I realized that, well, let me back up a bit. So some of the things that I went through when I had put this weight on over those years were, I had developed high cholesterol. I had developed issues of edema where I was holding on to water in my body. And although I'm a female and we can be prone to do so, it has a lot to do with other things that you're doing, such as what you're putting in your body and what you're not doing with your body so far as being active. And so that all contributed to it. Once I changed back to a healthy eating lifestyle and getting back active, then those things did turn around. And I notice even now at my age that if I happen to slip up or do a little bit too much of what I should not be doing, then my body will react and say, hello, remember, this is what this does to me. And I do feel it clinically, internally, within my body. Like if I eat too much salt, I will swell up. If I don't eat enough fiber, enough, vegetables, then, you can become constipated. And so these are issues that not one person, but most people suffer from these issues.
One of the things that I love that you touched on that I feel is very important is you touched on the internal part of the process, getting healthy to get fit.
Right.
And I think a lot of people miss out on that part of the puzzle. So many times people will try to get fit through exercise, and they don't realize that this is a natural process and that they have to get healthy by eating right and taking care of their body is more than just looking good. It's about
Absolutely.
feeling good and about being good to yourself.
Oh, I love that. Being good to yourself. There are essential vitamins in particular foods, mainly your vegetables, that will render, it will help you emotionally, it will help you physically, it will help your skin, it will help your hair, it will help your loins, if you will. Certain hormones will be balanced and things of that nature if you put the proper nutrition in your body. There are a lot of people who are emotional eaters, and I will say I'm one of them. Not was, but I am one of them. There are some things that we can't truly overcome, but we can tackle it. And so if you recognize it and say that that's what the case is, then you can tackle it, but it's still something that you may suffer from, right? So that's when I say I had to recognize why I'm eating. So I was an emotional eater. So when I would emotionally eat, there were times that I realized there was something that I was craving or that I was missing, such as vitamin B's and vitamin D's. These things right here help your emotional health. Something that I learned with my, my nursing degree. And so, but you can get that out of vegetables. So your colorful vegetables, you should eat like the rainbow.
Yeah, I agree with that. My favorite color in the rainbow when it comes down to food is red because I love raspberries, strawberries, and tomatoes.
Green. If I had to choose out of the many, which is purple and orange and yellow and red and green, I would go with green because I have found that, and I may be wrong, but I have found that the ones that are green have more coverage of the nutritional value than some that, are more highly in vitamin A, like carrots, but they may not provide the other things that spinach, would cover. So I'm gonna go with green.
Well, I love spinach. Spinach is actually my super food. It is my go-to food. I eat it on a regular basis because it's such a nutrient dense and rich food. Plus, it's got low calories.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, oh, another thing to do is to look at it like this: what's gonna give me more or less?
Yeah, exactly.
Less calories, but more value. More value to me, more value to my health, more value, more nutrients, but less calories. That's another way to think about your choice.
I agree with you. I have that same philosophy. I look at calories like it's money, and I look at my nutrients like it's merchandise. And so I'm looking at how many calories do I need to spend to get my nutrients. And you know, for your biggest bang for your buck when it comes down to that, at least in my opinion, I found nothing to beat that dark green leafy vegetable called spinach.
We're gonna have to take a 5-5 on that one. That's right.
So our next question is, what is the most important metric to help people get healthy and fit?
You have a few out there, obviously. People utilize the BMI, but the problem with the BMI is there's a lot to be taken in consideration, which is body types, even ethnic groups in regards to like being Indian, African American, or African, Caucasian. There's like so many different things that kind of go with the typical ethnic group. Okay, I mean, it's just the truth, right? So they don't take those things in consideration. It also doesn't take in consideration of your active level. What are you doing? Who's running more? Okay, which they might end up with less muscle mass versus who's lifting weights more. Okay, which they might be building more muscle mass. So what I typically do, a rule of thumb, especially for women, I say pay attention to your clothes, inches. Don't focus so much on the scale, even though sometimes, and I do say sometimes, the scale can be an indication that you are on the right track. Because typically I realize that when I get a size 4, and I'm talking about a loose 4, like my clothes are still loose at a size 4, typically I'm about 140, okay? And that's a loose 4. But I can still be at 155, which that's where I'm at right now, at 155, and I am a form-fitted 4. Okay, like I can range from 4. The 6 is a little too big, doesn't look quite right, but so it's about inches. So when it comes down to it, then it just really, I would say, pay attention to your clothes and how they fit. If you're gonna weigh yourself, I wouldn't do it any more than once a month is what I would recommend, because it can be discouraging when you start getting moving and you're building your muscle. Muscle weighs a lot more than fat. So I would pay attention about how the clothing fits you, and that works for men just the same.
Okay, so our next question is, what is the most important food a client can eat to get fit?
That is a great question. I'll have to answer it somewhat vaguely, because my answer would be anything, for the most part, that's unprocessed. I am like a huge fan of cleaning out the body. The body's got to get cleaned out. The bottom line is to try to do less processed as possible. That's your go-to food. Okay, that's what should be your go-to food. So if you can get as natural to the earth as possible, that's your best bet. Okay. The next thing is what's in the ocean. Okay, for you people who are not allergic to seafood, fish, white fish like kingfish or mahi, things of that nature. And then if you want to venture into other fishes, they can become a little bit more fatty, but that's going to be your next, because what you have to think about is what is going to be easy for the body to process, break down, and eliminate from the body. That's what it is. It's still gonna absorb the nutrition from the body as long as it can break it down. But if it's hard to break down, i.e. beef, okay, it's hard to break down, and therefore you're not going to get all the nutrition from it, but yet it's going to leave residue in your intestinal tract, which can lead to like colon cancer and things of that nature. Okay, just throwing it out there for you steak lovers. That's not one of those things that you want to go to. You want to go to the things that are going to be easier for your body to utilize through breaking down, because then that's where you're going to get your nutritional value out of it. Okay, so again, you can break down those vegetables very easy. The stomach acid is going to do that, which is going to allow the small intestine to absorb those nutrients. Example, I just want to talk to you about rice. It might seem like it might be easy to be broke down, but you must look at that as what type of rice. And so if you're going to go to it, I just want to put that out there too, please, brown rice, because the white rice, the nutritional value has been taken out. So again, your first thing is eat what's nutritional, okay? What you're going to get nutritional value out of. That's the goal of eating, is to get some nutrients from it.
Okay, so our next question is, what is the most important thing a person can do to get healthy?
The most important thing you can do is love yourself enough to know that you deserve that. You deserve health. Know that you were made and built internally, cellularly, to be healthy. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is you gotta start paying attention to what you're putting in your body. Ultimately, what you put in your body is what your body will display that it is. Pay attention to what you're putting into your body and forget the physique aspect of it. Let's just look at the organs part of it, okay? Your intestinal tract will not work properly. It will not, fecal matter will not be eliminated if you're taking in all these negative carbs, such as your potatoes, your white potatoes, your bread, your white rice, and things of that nature. It will not allow the body to push out waste the way it properly should. Whereas if you eat your vegetables, preferably the ones with the most color, green is actually always the best, as long as you don't have any issues with coagulation or your blood flowing properly. These things help clean out your intestinal tract. And when you clean out these organs, such as your liver, and there's things to eat in order to clean out your liver and your intestinal tract and help to preserve your kidneys. These are these organs that help clean out toxins out of your body. When you do that, then you're going to be living your healthiest life, and which you deserve to do. The third thing is to get moving. We were not made to sit still. We were made to keep moving. And it doesn't mean that you have to go do, some triathlon, or you have to be this master fitness and, you're conducting major, massive savage races. It means go for a walk. When you're done eating, go for a 30-minute stroll of your area, your neighborhood, or get your heart rate up where it causes you to have, somewhat of a difficult conversation continuously without taking a deep breath, because what that does is it builds up your heart rate. If your heart rate is been increased, then at that point the heart is pumping harder, which is going to be more profusely and pushing blood through all your vessels, which is going to help like push cholesterol. It heats up your body temperature heats. So just like if you have a pot of grease that you've just like fried some food and the really bad solid fats, and then once you it cools down, it clogs. Well, it does the same thing in your vessels. Okay, it does the same thing in your liver. So many benefits to getting moving.
Hey, two things I took away from what you said, and I think this is very important, but this is, these two things are the key to getting healthy and to getting fit. First, and I mean, this one is very, very important, listening to your body. I heard you say that, a lot of people don't realize that your body speaks to you. And if you listen to your body, that's where it all starts. It starts with the beginning of that process. If the beginning of that process is correct, you're listening to your body and then following your body lead. Because at the end of the day, your body is unique and it is different from everybody else's body. And no one can tell you about your body except for your body. Now, then the second thing that you said that I thought was really important, and I think people just need to make sure they focus on this. We're all looking for that next magic pill.
Oh.
Okay. But the thing that I like is it's a basic process. You just need to get moving. Get up, find something that you love to do, and stay active. Because at the end of the day, the thing that is going to really hurt you and keep you from being fit is a sedentary lifestyle.
There's a saying that says, if you don't use it, you lose it. So we're talking about our joints, moving our joints. If you do not utilize the joints in a healthy fashion, okay, then they will become stiff. And so then you'll lose that range of motion. The muscles stay by way of use. They are built by way of use. If you do not use the muscle, they will atrophy, which will mean they will shorten, they will disintegrate, and they will not be there. Spinal injuries, and from perhaps from the mid spinal section on down, like thorax area and things of that nature, and or down in your lumbar or something, and they lose their activities of their lower extremities. They tend to have smaller legs that were not as they were prior, and that's what's happening. They're unable to use them, so that muscle fiber, it is not being built, it is actually being used as energy. And so they begin to wither away. So that can go with any part of your body. However, the thing that God put in our body is a memory cell. So this what it does, exactly what its title. It remembers, okay, it has memory of what it's supposed to do, of what it did do, what it can do. So once you engage that muscle, or that then it will trigger the memory cells to do what they're supposed to do. There's something I'd like to mention. I have, once I started getting back onto my regimen of working out, one of the things that I did was I looked at everything as a gym. Everything was a gym. Everybody's like, oh, I can't make it to the gym. Every place is a gym, and everywhere in our world, all around us, is a place to work out. Every motion that we utilize with our body is an exercise. It is a simple calisthenic. Even so much as using our greatest muscles in our bodies, sitting down and standing up. Sitting down and standing up, that is a form of a squat, which uses your glutes, your hamstrings, sometimes your calves, even your abs in that aspect, because in order to do a proper sit down, stand up, you must engage your abdominal structure in order not to possibly pull a back muscle or things. So those simple things.
Okay, Chiquita, I want to thank you for joining us today. We really got a lot of valuable and pertinent information from you as a registered nurse and a health and fitness coach. You have such a great perspective on the human body. Your training and your experiences are so priceless. It allowed us to have a different insight and different perspective on how we can improve our health and our fitness. So I want to thank you for joining us, and I would just like to give you an opportunity to have the last word.
Well, first I want to say it's a pleasure to be here with you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with the audience what I see has worked for me and many others that I have trained. The thing that I would say the most to walk away with, number one, is be honest to yourself. Know that you deserve a healthier internal health and longevity. Make the choice to get moving and change your lifestyle regarding the way that you eat. Treat your body like it is your very most precious commodity by taking care of it and only feeding it what it needs to thrive. Okay, remember, anything that looks, keep it like the rainbow, and what's easy to break down is going to be what's beneficial to your internal health. Okay, internal health can equal physical health, greater emotional health, and mental health, because those nutritional values that's in the food actually affects every aspect of that.